Hey Dolphins fans, welcome to another edition of Fins Talk Today. I'm your host, Bobby Melendez. Let's get right into it. We don't got a lot of time, but I didn't have a lot of time to prep either. But I wanted to get on here and discuss this with you, this rumor that's coming out with the Dolphins, possibly looking into trading down from the 6th overall spot. First off, how is that even possible? Well, the Dolphins, as we are seeing that more than likely how the draft may play out from 1 to 6. We know Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know the Jets more than likely going quarterback Zach Wilson. The San Francisco 49ers are either going Trey Lance or Justin Fields. For Atlanta, Peter King reports that the Atlanta Falcons are sticking with, or more than likely going to stick with, Matt Ryan and draft Kyle Pitts. The fifth overall pick, Cincinnati Bengals, are more than likely going to go with Jamar Chase, wide receiver, after a couple weeks of reports saying they were leaving Penei Sewell out of Oregon. So if Miami at number 6, you got either Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones available, a team may want to try to trade up with Miami to trade ahead of Detroit to grab their guy. I don't think Mac Jones would be that pick. I think it'd either be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So let's play around with that. If Miami were to look to trade down, there are several teams that we could look at that may be options for the Dolphins. First off being the Denver Broncos at 9. Are they sold on Drew Lock? Have they given up on him? Could they look to trade up? Supposedly they are reportedly very interested in Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Could they trade up and get one and want to trade up with Miami? Could they offer maybe that second round pick, the 40th overall pick, 9 and 40, to just move up a couple slots to grab their guy? And then you have 12, the Eagles. I know that's funny because Miami just traded with the Eagles from 12 to 6, 6 to 12. Could Miami actually make that move again and get more picks in return? That's a possibility since their draft could be crazy. 15th overall, you got the New England Patriots. Even though I find that highly unlikely, I don't think Belichick will move up for a quarterback, and I highly unlikely think Miami would trade with their AFC East rival. Then you got 19, the Washington Football Team. I've heard their name brought out there. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick. They got Heineke, or whoever their backup quarterback is. I don't really see them taking a quarterback. I know they said supposedly they like Trey Lance, but I can't see them risking that move, giving up that much collateral to move up when they got two viable starters there. And also, of course, the Chicago Bears. That's a name that was thrown out there and I think should be addressed and should be looked as an option. Why? Their starting quarterback going into next season is Andy Dalton. That's pretty scary. So I think that the Chicago Bears, their head coach Matt Nagy and their general manager, could be really pushing to make a move to get their franchise quarterback to give them extra years to keep their job. If that was to occur, you would have to assume they give up a ransom of picks to the Dolphins and Chris Greer, who more than likely would use those picks, obviously, to build around Tua Tagovailoa and to move around the draft. So let's play around with this a little bit. What options could be there if the Dolphins moved at any of these picks? First, the 9th overall pick. I truly strongly believe that at the 9th overall pick, Miami could still end up with either Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. One of those two guys could still be there. 6 goes quarterback. Let's just say that the Broncos take Justin Fields. Then 7 goes to Devontae Smith to the Detroit Lions. They go wide receiver because they need one. Then you got 8, the Carolina Panthers. More than likely, they're going the offensive tackle, maybe Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. Then number 9 is the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins could end up with Jalen Waddle, which could be their pick all along. Okay, so now we go to the 12th overall pick. Let's say Miami makes this crazy trade. It's a back and forth, like the draft day movie. They make a move with the Philadelphia Eagles. Who could be available at that spot? Well, first off, maybe again, one of the wide receivers. It really just depends. I mean, if Miami was to trade from 6 to 12, let's see how it plays out. We know that the Lions may go wide receiver. The Panthers go offensive tackle. The Broncos could go offensive tackle here or corner, or linebacker. Then you got the Cowboys corner. Then number 11 is the Lions. The Giants. I don't see them going wide receiver. I could see them going either defensive end or offensive tackle. Then you got that's the number 12 spot. Let's say Miami's there. They could still end up with Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. Whoever's still on the board at that point, I think they could still be on the board at that point. But of course, there's other options as well. We got Micah Parsons, linebacker at Penn State. Christian Dorsal, offensive tackle at Virginia Tech. You also have Pat Surtain Jr. I know that's kind of crazy to think of a corner, but he's an elite talent. There's rumors that Miami may move eventually Xavier Howard sooner rather than later. Tony Pauline, a very respected NFL insider, has said Miami is considering and more than likely will take a corner in one of their top in the first 3 rounds. So that's something to look out for. You got the 15th overall pick. You got the New England Patriots pick. Again, highly unlikely Miami trades with New England, but let's play around with that a little bit. What options could be there? Again, Christian Dorsal might be available. Jalen Phillips, defensive edge rusher out of University of Miami, and of course Crete Pay out of Michigan. Miami is rumored to be very interested in edge rushers, and maybe at that point they go that route instead of wide receiver if one of those 2 guys, one of their top 4 guys are not there, top 3 guys. 19th overall, Elijah Vera Tucker, Southern California guard. Aziza Jalari, defensive end out of Georgia. You got Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. That could be an option at that point, and that's a very good option, a very good player to get. And then Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech, another cornerback option for Miami, especially at that part. That kid is, on some boards, he's rated 5th overall, the 5th best prospect on the draft. And then you got the 20th overall pick, which again could be a very likely scenario that Chicago Bears give up a ransom to the Dolphins. Miami then, crazy enough, from 6 drops all the way down from 18 to 20. At the 20th overall pick, options available for Miami at that point: Kristen Barmere, defensive tackle out of Alabama; Zavon Collins, defensive end out of Tulsa; Taven Jenkins, Oklahoma State offensive tackle; and of course Najee Harris, Alabama running back; and of course the running back out of Clemson. Plenty of options, guys. I know it's a little crazy and a little scary. We all fall in love with these certain prospects that we have our eyes on. We watch these highlights and these tapes, and we got to say, this guy is the guy we need, whether it's Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, or Kyle Pitts. But Miami doesn't look at it like that. The Dolphins are looking at every pick and considering every option, and so we should as well. And if a team is willing, like Chicago is willing to give up the farm for a quarterback, teams like Miami could afford to trade down. There's great prospects in this draft, especially at wide receiver. The wide receiver class is very deep. If Miami doesn't end up with these top 3 guys, which I want them to, I want one of those top 3 guys, but if Miami doesn't end up with one of those top 3 guys, it's not a losing scenario. Rashad Bateman is not a scrub. Elijah Moore, Randall Moore, Terrace Marshall, those guys aren't scrubs. Those are legitimate weapons for Miami and Tua Tagovailoa if they go that route. And that's something to consider. There's other options there too. The job here, the goal here, we have to remember, is to build around Tua Tagovailoa. Make him a success. Have him a better sophomore season than he had a rookie season. And he didn't have a bad rookie season. I don't care what anybody says. The fact is, he will not. Making him a success doesn't mean just drafting this one guy. We have to have Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase for him to be successful. That's not true. You need an offensive line, a good offensive line. I know we just signed DJ Fluker out of from the I know he played for the Chargers, but veteran offensive tackle. Okay, formerly of Alabama. Excuse me. Miami needs to secure that offensive line. We need to protect Tua. We need another running back. Okay, yes, we need wide receivers, but that one wide receiver doesn't make him great. There's other options later on in the draft as well. And then we got to get we have to keep our defense good. The defense was very good last season, but we need to continue to build on that defense. And that way Miami gets the ball back, and the defense protects the lead for Tua in order for us to win. That's how you build around Tua. It's not just, he needs weapons. It's everything else as well. We need to secure that. So if Miami could get an additional ransom of draft picks from a team like Chicago, that's not something to be really, truly upset about. I know it hurts, and it's a kind of a nightmare scenario for some of us. Breaks our heart because we know we might more than likely want to end up with those top guys, but that's okay. My preference for the Dolphins, of course, you stick at 6 if you can end up with Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. But if you could trade down to 9, if you know Kyle Pitts is going, and you're looking at the draft, Kyle Pitts goes to Atlanta, Jamar Chase goes to Cincinnati, you know that one of those quarterbacks are there, and let's say Denver calls you and says, look, we want to trade up. Absolutely. Give me the 9th order. You can get an extra pick, but really, if you look at the draft trade chart, the numbers, the math adds up. Give me number 9, give me 40, give me your 2nd round pick, and we can move there, and we still get one of those top guys and an extra 2nd round pick that we could use either at that pick, or we could trade back up and get our running back. A lot of options to consider, guys. Hey, let me know what you guys think. Tell me what you think. What do you want Miami to do? And if Miami was to seriously consider to trade down, out of those teams that I discussed, and maybe I'm overlooking a team, let me know. Or I'm overlooking a player at a certain pick. Tell me what you guys think. Comment below. If you like the show, hit like, subscribe to Dolphins Talk. Check out dolphinstalk.com for the recent analysis and reports and different stories. Check out their show, their podcast, and also follow me on Twitter at BobbyFinstock. You can also follow the show at Fins Talk Today, and also Dolphins Talk at Dolphins Talk. Guys, I thank you for your time. Keep me posted. We'll keep you posted. Hey, fins up.